Hello, everybody. Welcome to Waiter to Win on Tuesday. We're doing this on Monday on the public holiday meeting. And, well, we've got a 7 to 10 shot that starts our day out at the vaal. Stewie Pettigrew and Diego de Gavea teaming up at the time of recording with number one, Iron Sky. Don't forget, we're on Twitter and our WhatsApp number and all that sort of stuff, all available to you. And whenever you're ready, it's all really for your convenience at the end of the day. So, one Iron Sky, Daryl Marie, I'll start with you. 7 to 10 favourite, looks hard to beat in this particular event, and I don't know price-wise if it's the right price, but does appear to be the right one.
Clyde, he's certainly shown enough to bank him in the first leg of the bar pot. He looks ready to exit the maiden ranks. I'm not rushing out to take his current price, but I'll be very disappointed if he doesn't run in the first two, Clyde. Just having a look at the dangers. If you are wanting to beat the favourite, waiting for green light. I don't think she showed enough on debut to warrant a winning chance, but what's certainly in her favour, Clyde, is she's a filly and she gets the apprentice claim. So she comes into this race in receipt of 8 kilograms from Iron Sky. So that has to give her some sort of a squeak. But I'll be disappointed if Iron Sky gets beat. I'll be shocked if he doesn't finish in the first two for the.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And that current form does seem fairly solid anyway. Darren Burrows, would you agree?
Yes, Clyde. There was a good effort last time out. It was a big field at Turffontein. I thought it was quite a strong maiden, and he ran a good second. The drop-in trip will be ideal. I'll be very disappointed if he gets beaten this type of company. This filly wait for green light. I thought she had a chance on debut because I saw early market support. And she went up with a pace and she absolutely found nothing the final 200. So I've got to be in the camp of Iron Sky. Follow the market with regards to number 4 and 5, Johan Janse van Vuren's horses. They're both well bred, but I don't know if they're fancied.
Yeah, at this point in time, the market doesn't indicate that they are. So looks like we're going with Iron Sky. Bypots, guys. Let's have a look at what the plan is here as we go on to race number 1. And Darren has got his bypot worked out where he'll banker the one Iron Sky. In fact, quite a few bankers in Darren Burrows' bypot. And is spending 16 Rand on this Tuesday afternoon out at the vaal. Daryl Marie's got pretty much the same story in that he's bankering the one Iron Sky, so it'll be depending on that, but not as confident about the rest of the card. You can see he's loaded up the remaining legs, so the only banker, Iron Sky, hopefully that arrives, and he'll be spending that amount of money that's on your screen. We're going on to race number 2 now, and on Monday, number 6, Red Maple topped the board, 16 to 10. 2 Ipso Facto is back in the play now, 33 to 10, and then the other fortune runners, number 1, Crimson Princess, who's trading at 4 to 1. You've also got Michael Azzi and Adam Azzi's 3 Southern Song at 4 to 1. The market rather congested because even also like 4 Peyton's Tears, Darren, is 5 to 1. The only rank outsider really in the race is the other fortune horse. They've got quite a few in here called Princess Kesh, number 5, who's at 14 to 1. So I guess the question is Red Maple good enough?
Clyde, Red Maple, have a look at that Oaks trial run when she ran second to Ipso Facto. She was beaten a length and a quarter, and she's 4.5 kilos better off with Ipso Facto. So strictly on that run, I have to be in the camp of Red Maple. Ipso Facto is a runner. I spoke to Keenan Jansen. They do give her a big say, but she's got a bit to do at the weights. Peyton's Tears an interesting runner. Stepped up in trip for the first time last time out, and she really enjoyed it. So I think the step up to 2,000, if it suits her, she could be the dark horse.
All right, I want to talk about Ipso Facto a little bit now, Daryl, and that, of course, that last attempt in the Oaks over the 24.50, was that, you think that was too far?
Well, she only gave way very late in that race, Clyde. She was obviously out at the weights, and although she was beaten 7.5 lengths, she picked up a 2.5 kilogram penalty, and that's the reason why Terry dodged the Oaks with Red Maple, because he knew that if she just ran a pace, the rating would have skyrocketed. Yeah, everything's in Red Maple's favor. Yeah, lovely improving filly. The only the only reason why I'm giving ipso facto a serious winning chance is I've looked at the race, and it looks like Moosey's going to dictate up front, Clyde. If he does, there is a possibility she can confirm that form despite the turnaround in the weights, but one has to seriously favour Red Maple because of that 4.5 kilogram pool. So I'm going with the 3 odds, Clyde. I'm going 6 from 2.
Yeah, that's an understanding factor with the weight turnaround like that. You've got to worry a little bit, no question about that. So ipso facto, Red Maple, those two. I just feel that ipso facto will show her best today as well. Let's have a look at the plan in terms of place accumulators now, guys. We're getting that on. Darren Burrows is going to bank and naturally so Red Maple should run a place, at least run a place anyway from a place accumulator perspective. That's the amount of money that he's spending. He's got a couple of bankers on the day, so he's quite confident with this vaal card. There's the place accumulator from Burrows' corner. Daryl Marie's got a couple going. Ipso facto Red Maple, he's hoping to double up. If he happens to beat one of them, well, there's a bit of a result in the first leg, so not absolutely convinced as to which one's the right one at this point in time. That ipso facto does drop back into the 2,000, may well be in her favour, but we'll see. Will it be that, or will the weight count in the favour of Red Maple? The first leg could be a deciding factor. There's the perm. That's what it's worth spending. Everything of the best. On to race number 3, pick 6 as we go over 1,000 metres, and having a look at the betting on the Monday. Number 8, Chrome Tourmaline, favourite at 5-2. There are a few first-timers in here, Darren Burrows. Don't know anything about them, 9 and 10, to be quite honest. But from a pick 6 perspective, I guess it'll help if we happen to find if they win, and we've got the second horse anyway. What's your first choice here?
Clyde, I've opted to banker this filly Chrome Tourmaline in the pick 6. Last time out, I actually didn't watch that race, but very disappointing behind Ladies Alternate. But the drop in trip to 1,000 metres, on her debut, she ran 3 lengths off Call Me When You Need Me, a very good 2-year-old. A repeat of that performance, surely she's the right horse. I don't know too much about first-timers, but when you look at the second favourite being Glitter Fox, I mean, she's had plenty chances, 24 runs in the maiden. So I'm going for Chrome Tourmaline in the pick 6. I'm not saying she's worth a bet, but hopefully she'll be in the pick 6.
Okay, so you've picked up on the Chrome Tourmaline run to the Call Me When You Need Me. It was a decent sort. Divine Moonlight we saw were good. There were a few good ones in there. Daryl, is that good enough?
Clyde, I've no doubt that's good enough. And if she just reproduces her debut effort, she should romp, Clyde. But, you know, in the back of your mind, you have to say she was bitterly disappointing in her second start. She had every chance. How good is she? Bad effort. But if you're willing to put a line through that run, Clyde, in the Work Rider event, you would go into this race with a lot of confidence. You touched on Divine Moonlight beating a highly regarded filly in Wagug. Darren's touched on the fact that she's coming back to 1,000 meters. She appears to be drawn on the right side of the track, having her third run now. Very, very hard to beat on a debut effort. So, yes, the one to beat. Number 9's got the booking of half sister to Hatter, trained by Mace Roberts. Number 10, Mr. Pettigrew's filly is a half sister to Defender of Rights, who he also trains. So watch the betting with regards to their chances. Glitter Fox of the Balance of the Field, Clyde, she's improved nicely on the half vault. She's got that early toe. She's very fit. If the favourite fluffs her lines once again of the race runners, you have to be in Glitter Fox's camp.
All right, so some well-bred first-timers, watch out there, but we are all seemingly on the side of the favourite here. Chrome Tourmaline, number 8 on the card. Let's get our pick six is up. Darren's got his pick six worked out. He would have naturally banked at number 8. He's then, of course, gone field, and he's loaded up later on the rest of the card for this vaal meeting. That's our pick six today. Hopefully we can start May, the month of May, off magically. Let's get May going, get some money in the bank. Race number 4 is the handicap at the 82 level. We're going over 2,400 meters, and here 3 positive attitude. He's trading at 17 to 10 as the horse to beat. It's been very impressive its last couple of starts, one's got to say. Second choice, number 4, A Fraud, is trading at 4 to 1. Number 5, Prime Example, has found its best form, getting better and better as more races come its way, trading at 5 to 1. 6, Bonner Bridge is 7 to 1. 7, Great Affairs, 7 to 1. 8, Mambo Camtesio is trading at 7 to 1. It's 14 to 1 and better about the others. So it's a typical class of race 482 stayers. And I guess Darren Burrows, let's talk about positive attitude. He's been in good form. He's won his last couple of races, and he's done absolutely nothing wrong.
Yes, Clyde, since being stepped up in trip and the blinkers fitted in his last 2, he's won like start to finish. Very impressive. He's on the up. He's got to go into your play. If you go on a line of form with Efrod, now Efrod ran 3 3/4 lengths behind Positive Attitude, giving him 3.5 kilos, now receiving weight. Then you go to Efrod, second behind Prime Example last time out. He gave Prime Example 4 kilos, now he only gives him half a kilo. But in saying that, Prime Example and Positive Attitude are improving, where Efrod is a 6-year-old. Then you got Banner Bridge. He's not out of it. Course and distance suited. Last time out on the inside track, they went very fast. You can put a line through that effort. So 3, 4, 5, and 6 should be enough.
It's interesting, you say 3, 4, 5, 6. I just want to ask you, Daryl, about the source Mambo Camtesio, because I see this is going over the ground for the first time over the 2,400 meters and seemed to be making it up behind Jet Dynasty, whom we thought may not be, a fair sort of horse, but I get the feeling the more races that comes Jet Dynasty's way, the better he's going to get. So what do you give it? Do you give any sort of chance to Mambo Camtesio?
Clyde, there's no doubt you have to give the horse a chance. I mean, he's an improving staying type. Did well in his post-maiden race. Only beaten a length and a quarter. He's only got 52 kilograms to shoulder, and he's unexposed over this trip. So, yes, I wouldn't be shocked, but he doesn't form part of my top 4 selections. Just one other you have to touch on. Weight reversal, Clyde. He's number 7, Great Affair. Positive Attitude run. He's 6 kilograms better off. Last time out, behind Prime Example, it actually looked like he was cruising at the 600. Just gave way very late. So coming back in trip could also be favorable. But this horse, hasn't seen the winners enclosure for close on 800 days, Clyde. So you can't take him. You're not going to put the rent money on him, that's for sure. But I think he's capable. I'd actually like to go to the front. Muzi from the front, I'm always a fan of him, Clyde. So yes, Positive Attitude is highly regarded. Joe Somers talking about the Gold Cup, and we know that he can go to the front and dictate. I wouldn't be shocked to see him.
Yeah, okay. Well, he's 17 to 10. This was Positive Attitude at the moment. It was interesting to see how the prime market or the market plays out at the end of the day in this race. Let's have a look at jackpots now, because it's jackpot time, and have a look at what the plan is. And Daryl Marie's going horses by horses by horses by horses. I can't blame him. It's quite a competitive vaal card out there. Take those numbers down. We'll give you a moment or so to get those jackpot numbers up. And you can also remember, use your phone, just the camera. You just QR that code, and it takes you straight there. And you just got to get it entered. It's just the most convenient with technology today. It's so much simpler to do it that way. We move now on to race number 5, and number 3, Meridius, tops the boards here at 3 to 1. 1 in Glamu is 33 to 10. Second favourite, 2 Supreme Quest at 4 to 1. Number 8, Johnny Dogs, Robin Claassen, nearly won the Group 1 World Sports Betting Premier's Champions Challenge. Can you believe what a race that was? That was a great race. And Johnny Dogs in here at 5-1. And you give that a chance, Darren, Johnny Dogs?
Clyde, I'm not sure what his best trip is. I'm not sure if he stays a mile because when he's tried it before, he hasn't found much. So that's my concern with him. I like the top weights, numbers 1, 2, and 3. I also have respect for Bay Suye, number 5. But in Glamu, that was a good run, stepped up in trip. I thought he was a 1400-meter specialist. But the manner in which he ran in the sledgehammer over 1750, I think the drop back to a mile is going to be ideal for him. You got Meridius, narrowly beaten by Willer's Wish when stepped up in trip. Also, the mile's going to be ideal. Supreme Quest, she's been very disappointing for quite some time. She's capable of much better, but last time out was an encouraging run. So 1, 2, 3, and 5, I saw the race between them.
You may well be right. The interesting horse in here is Meridius, Daryl, I thought, from that Willow's Wish line. It wasn't beaten far. And there haven't been many runners. I mean, one horse, I think that was Vanderbilt that came out to there and ran second last on that occasion and then just won immediately thereafter. So that's got to put Meridius in good standing.
Absolutely, Clyde. This horse has done extremely well. He's never far off them. Clearly he's off a competitive rating and clearly he's still improving with racing because he's at his highest currently off a 93. Loves this track. So he must be one of the leading lights. A little bit of a sneaker in the pack here, Clyde. Number 6, Sir Michael. I think they're back to the drawing with the board with this horse. Blinkers are off. Tongue tie goes on. Lost the plot in his last start, but he's won from over the course and distance. Come right down to an 80. If there is going to be an upset in the race, Clyde, I think number 6, Sir Michael, falls into that category. So I'm going 3 from 6.
Okay, well, that's interesting that you've gone with that particular horse. Let's put a run through that last run then, if that is the case with regards to Sir Michael. We'll put it into the play. Johnny Dogs did come from Stormy Winter, and from there also came the Mauritian, who, by the way, was far back, but came out and won, so that might have a bit of a squeak. But okay, so Daryl's got a couple. Darren, you've heard what he likes. In terms of what we're going to do now with race 5, it's a second jackpot opportunity, and Daryl's worked out that we go 3, 6, and 8. So Meridius, Sir Michael, and Johnny Dogs, they're all going into the play by horses, by 1, 7, 9, and horses at the back of that second jackpot out at the vaal today. We're going to race number 6, Celestial City, number 2 on the card, is given another opportunity. He's currently trading at 18-10 for Vitalis is 33-10 second choice. And number 1, Bob's Your Uncle, is trading at 9-2. And then you can get 7-1 and better about the others. We know, Daryl, we heard the complaint, well, not complaint, that you heard Sean Terry make reference, Daryl, to Celestial City as to what happened last time. Unfortunately, with one of its testicles being caught up in the tube, so to speak, and during running, and that must have been a painful process. I know you've been through that once or twice, but you've managed to overcome it. Hopefully he does on Tuesday.
Yeah, Clyde, I don't know what to make of this horse. I'm actually getting tired of him, to be quite honest. He's letting me down more often than not. We know that he's so well bred and they're persevering with him, but I really believe, and it's not going to happen, that if he was gelded, we'd see something more than what he's currently recording, Clyde. I don't know what to make of this race. I think it's very, very competitive. I like the fact that number 4, Vitellius, is coming back down to a mile. Last time out, Clyde, he gave Latuli 8 kilograms, so I think it's better than what it appears on paper. In ultimate start, we saw Tizona win again. One that's making his handicap debut, Clyde, is Dungeons. Now, he's only had one start over the mile, and he beat Free Movement. Now, we saw Free Movement run behind Mo the Man over the weekend. Mo the Man's form was certainly not bad going into that race. I mean, he had run behind the Mauritian, who won again, Brave Viking, who won again. Jazz Dynasty and Bob's Your Uncle have all subsequently won again since exiting the maiden ranks. So although Dungeons doesn't bring the strongest form into this race, Clyde, I can certainly see him building on what he's shown to date. But the race doesn't stop over this. Stewie Pettigrew's horse needs to jump on terms, and he can feature. That's number 3, Southern Blaze. And a nice little roughie for wider players or looking for the upsets is JP 2000. But yes, Clyde, tricky.
Yeah, tricky. It just depends, I guess, what Celestial City is going to do on the day. We don't know. That's the challenge with him. We know he's a lovely horse, but does have his challenges. Darren, your assessment?
Clyde, I think Celestial City is the best bet on the card, and I think he'll trot up. Have a look at his mile form. He's had 3 runs for 2 wins and a second. Whenever they put him further than a mile, he moves up to a point and stops. They dropped him back to the mile, and that's the winning move, I believe. I think he's got a lot more to come. In his penultimate start when he won over a mile, he absolutely cruised in. Last time out, 1800 stopped, and he had excuses. I think he's a better horse than these, and he'll win. And I made the danger Bob's Your Uncle. I did back him up in the pick 6 because I believe this horse is very progressive.
All right, so there's lots of confidence in your camp about Celestial City, race number 6 on the card. Let's hope all goes according to plan, and we'll take a look at what the plan with regards to what we want to recommend then is Darren's, well, he's saying Celestial City should, all things being equal, over the distance, over the 1600 meters, and all other things behave itself, well, then Celestial City should win. Race 7's over the 1450, and we go around the turn here, where 1 Queen of Smoke is top of the boards at 3-1. Number 5 Moraine is at 4-1. Second choice joint with a 6 Golden Aspen, trading at 4-1. And you've got number 7 National Star. This is the one I've been waiting for. National Star 11-2, Daryl, and I see the 2 Admire Me is 8-1. Are you going to help? Are you taking some of the 11-2 with me on the National Star, or should we wait for race time?
Clyde, you're more than welcome to go ahead and back her. We have to give the viewers the form update on that run that caught your eye. She ran a length and a half behind Simple, and you saw her doing some low flying in the latter stages. Clyde, my concern is if the race has come too soon or not. Let's just see if Sean Terry does accept her, and if she stands her ground, one has to believe that she's taken that race well, and she'll go extremely well. So certainly one on my shortlist. Queen of Smoke, number 1. Another filly that's got a lot in her favour. I mean, she's track and trip suited. She's clearly improving with racing, and she's on the upgrade. Unconditional Love, if I'm not mistaken, Frank, that form in the East. A filly that's going to run a big race, Clyde, in my opinion, is number 9, Liliana. She's having her peak run for a new yard. She's well drawn, and she's right down to 78. If you're playing trifectas and quartets, Clyde, she's a must.
All right, we won't leave Liliana out. Number 9 on the card, we'll put that into our play. In swingers and trifectas, it's an 8-1 shot. Darren Burrows, your take on it?
Clyde, I like a lot of Queen of Smoke. You know, I think she's a 1400 meter horse. 3 runs back, she ran in the feature race. I think it was a 3 choikers behind Miss Cool. That was a solid effort. She did actually have Moraine ahead of her, but Moraine hasn't been moving well of late, and she hasn't been striding out. So I am leaning towards Queen of Smoke. That was a good return to form last time. I just found wanting the final 100. Admire Me is an interesting runner for the new stable. She's very capable on her day. Have a look at her penultimate start, beaten a length and a half by none other, who's a very smart filly. You got Golden Aspen. I'm not sure she'll see it out. I think she's best over the 1200. And National Star can't be ignored with 52.5 kilos.
Not what I saw the other day. If Daryl's quite right, if Shaw does run National Star, I think it's a massive, massive runner. Okay, well, guys, let's have a look. We're going into, what are we, second last race. It's a handicap at the 90 level, fillies and mares. And Darren Burrows is saying Queen of Smoke for him, saying that's the one to beat. From Escape Artists came Unconditional Love, who came out and won. And just as a line, former line, if you want anything, Sean Terry also trains Escape Artist, as he does Sister Light, who was the second horse on that occasion. So you'll have some sort of idea where National Star fits into the equation. Eighth and final now, and number 5, Luna Ballard, tops the boards at 3-1. Number 3, Radu, second choice, 4-1. Number 1, Berengaria, is 9-2. We're recording this Monday, just a reminder. And number 2, Lady Calavera, 5-1. Don't forget to look at the latest card changes and scratchings race time. So it's the last one of the day, Darren, and maybe need to get some money out of it. What would you recommend we do?
Well, Clyde, in my exotics, I went the field. But if I had to have a first choice, it would have to be Luna Ballard. Now, she won well on the standside track at Turffontein last time out. She's had 3 comeback runs after a lengthy layoff, and she's coming on the right way. She could have more to offer. Berengaria, now she won a cracker last time out with Pierre Stradum. The only concern is the 11 draw, but she has got an apprentice allowance of 2.5 kilos. Lady Calavera, she's consistent. Radu, good maiden winner. She's got more to come. And one more to throw in at a big price, Big City Girl, I'm expecting improvement from.
Okay, Big City Girl might be the shrewd in the race. That's any price, by the way, number 11. That's a 25-1 shot, one of Darren's specials that he could normally find for trifectas and quartets. Mr. Marie, on your page, what do you see?
Yes, Clyde. This filly, Luna Ballard, penultimate start, she was quite up the Turffontein hill. She set the record straight last time out. Despite not moving well to the start, Clyde, I thought she actually went down a bit scratchy. For those who are wanting to have a bet on the nose, I'd suggest just to watch her in the canter past. I don't know if that's how she moves, but I'll be moving much better then. But yet she still got the job done. Radu, very impressive turn of foot on the inside track last time out, Clyde. From what I saw, I don't believe she's going to stop there. I actually think she's more than capable of notching up another 2 or 3 wins in the handicap level. Lady Calavera, Dennis knows her well, Clyde. She goes well around the bend. She breaks well and she's in front. We know that she's got the heart to fight them off. But I was just very impressed with Radu. I think although she's got a little bit of putting to shoulder, I think she's more than capable.
Okay, so maybe Radu does come back again. We saw Keep the Fort come out there the other day and won as well. Unfortunately, Broadlands was right behind, but we know what happened to Broadlands after that. But anyway, okay, that's the last race, our wrap-up of the day from the Vaal Classic. Thanks for watching, everybody. We are going to recommend that if we do anything in the last race, this is the play or the plan for race number 8 out at the Vaal Classic, and this is to take a trifecta by boxing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. And if you want to add Darren's rank outsider in there, you may well do so. Number 11 might want to go in as well.